Like any adventurer, you'll be capable of a great many feats, but unlike many others, you will have a feat selection that allows you to work as part of a team, whether they want to or not. Hello everyone, and welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire, going on with the first edition Pathfinder Inquisitor today, talking about your feat selection. And before we get into all of that, if you're new here to the channel, go on down there, hit that subscribe button, and become a regular member here at the Gamer's Den. Or if you've already listed yourself on such an incredible roster of legendary heroes, then go on down to hit that like button and share the video far and wide. But now let's start talking into feats, and we're going to start off with the fact that depending on the setting, you may have deity-specific feats that are available to you, such as Golarion, the base setting that comes with the Pathfinder rulebooks. Or you may be getting weapon proficiencies gained through your choice of deity or your character's cultural proficiencies, such as half-orcs getting proficiency with falchions, great axes, so on and so forth. Ideally, when it comes to picking out your feats or weapon feats, you're going to pick something that gives you either a high crit range or a high damage output. Even builds that are leaning more into casting and their skills are going to still be making use of melee at some point. You're basically the spontaneous divine spell casting version of a bard. So that's essentially what the Inquisitor breaks down to. You just have some more offense-oriented abilities, or at least more directly offense-oriented abilities. But now we're going to actually start talking about your feat selection. And just bear in mind, this is subject to all kinds of change, fluctuations, really depending on settings, build, your stats, and other factors that might be coming into play in consideration here. But to begin with, at first level, we're going to pick up Quick Draw, allowing you to draw your weapon as a free action. Given the action economy, this is just a classic feat for me that I just absolutely love to have, especially for a melee build. Then at level 3, you're going to pick up Heavy Armor Proficiency. You're going to want to get the higher AC, and by level 11, definitely get yourself a suit of mithril armor, a heavy mithril armor. So that way, by the time you're at level 11 and your other class abilities kick in, this will allow you to make saves that negate the full effects of the things that might have been coming down on you. Because remember, if you're wearing heavy armor, you're no longer able to do so. It's limited to medium armor or lighter. Then at level 3, you're also getting your first teamwork feat, and you're going to pick Lookout. When you're adjacent to an ally with this feat, you may act in a surprise round if they can. If you're denied the ability to act, your initiative is equal to your roll or your ally's roll -1, whichever is lower. If both of you are able to act in the surprise round, you both get a standard and move action. Now, that last part doesn't really necessarily apply to your ally, because they have to have the feat. But you will get to be able to have that standard and move action, or a full attack action. So this opens up a lot for you and allows you to act in a surprise round very effectively, especially combined with the fact that we have a good wisdom score, perception is a class skill, and you get a bonus to it overall. So there are going to be very few times where you're caught off guard, and even better, especially at this level, when you're adjacent to an ally that is also able to act, you're going to get more actions that you're able to take in that round. Then for level 5, we're going to pick up Power Attack. This is -1 to attack and +2 to damage, or +3 if you're two-handing a weapon. This increases at your +4 attack bonus and every 4 more after. So by the time you hit a +4 attack bonus, you're taking a -2 to your attack and getting a +4 to damage, or +6 again if you're two-handing. Now that penalty does nibble at you a little bit, but your judgments will help to compensate for this quite a bit, allowing you to still put out a good amount of damage, even if you're not as effective a melee brawler as, say, well, the brawler class, fighters, paladins, etc. Then for level 6, your teamwork feat you're going to pick up is improved spell sharing. When you're adjacent or share a space with your animal companion, cast a spell on yourself and it is automatically cast on the companion with the duration divided in half. And the example provided is Bull Strength. Normally lasts 1 minute per level. That becomes 5 rounds a level for both of you. Actually not bad at all. And again, this is another feat that really helps to secure the action economy for you, because one casting it now hits both of you rather than having to hit one person at a time. So that's absolutely fantastic. And like I'd mentioned before, this is a feat that assumes certain things about your build. For example, the domain you're taking is either the animal domain or the feather subdomain, giving you that animal companion. But it's definitely one I highly recommend. Then moving on from there, at level 7, we're going to pick up Dirty Fighting, and this is a feat I wish I'd known about a long time ago. When making a combat maneuver check against a target you are flanking, trade the +2 bonus to prevent the attack of opportunity. If you have a feat that lets you make the maneuver without attacks of opportunity, you instead get a +4 bonus total to the maneuver. Normally, the feat that lets you do this, say you're doing improved bull rush or any of those improved versions of combat maneuver feats, they normally give you a +2 bonus on their own. This will get you a +4. This feat counts as having a dexterity and intelligence score of 13, the combat expertise feat, and the unarmed strike feat for the purposes of meeting improved combat maneuver feat requirements, as well as feats that require improved combat maneuver feats. So this will allow you to pick up improved disarm, improved feint, greater disarm, greater feint, greater trip. This feat opens up a lot for you, even if you have a dex of 13 or better, like this particular build does, or an intelligence of 13 or better, like this particular build does not. This still opens up a whole suite of combat feats for you and minimizes how intensive the feat tax is for building into those particular feat trees, because it's typically the greater versions of combat maneuver feats that not only do they still give you a +2 bonus, but they are also giving you added abilities like greater disarm, giving you a +2 bonus to disarm checks, as well as knocking the item you're disarming from an opponent 15 feet away in a direction that you select. So Dirty Fighting is great, especially for a melee build like we're doing here. Then at level 9, we're going to pick up, surprise surprise, Greater Trip. A +2 bonus to combat maneuver checks to trip a foe, and when you trip them, they provoke attacks of opportunity. Your level 9 teamwork feat is going to be Tandem Trip. Whenever you trip an opponent threatened by an ally with this feat, roll twice and take the better result. Now, your ally is probably not going to have the feat, but with solo tactics you can treat them like they do. So you just have to have an ally there threatening the opponent, and then you can do this. Roll twice and take the better result, and we get a +2 bonus to this. And don't forget, your judgment, the judgment that boosts your base attack will apply to this as well. So you're going to be fairly threatening in combat for a lot of opponents. Then for level 11, we're going to take combat reflexes to gain additional attacks of opportunity based off of your dex modifier, because unless an opponent has specific class abilities or feats allowing them to do so when they get up, they provoke attacks of opportunity. Then for your level 12 teamwork feat, we're going to take Outflank. Whenever you and an ally with this feat are flanking an opponent, the flanking bonus increases to +4. In addition, whenever you roll a critical hit, it provokes an attack of opportunity from your ally. Now this is one I had to read up on in research, and there was an FAQ done for it back in 2010 for an Inquisitor with solo tactics, and they pick up this Outflank feat. Your ally cannot get the attack of opportunity, but you can when your ally crits. So this is a huge advantage for you, and again makes good use of combat reflexes and also builds off of the potential for criticals that your allies may be getting. Then at level 13 we come to Boon Companion. Your animal companion is now counted as if you were a druid equal to your level, so no more level -3 off of the chart that's next to the druid class there. This is absolutely great. You want your animal companion to be as boosted and effective as possible. Now, you've been getting by on the fact that you have your judgments and you can share your spell casting and really keep your action economy going really well. But this will be a massive help for you in combat and help to reliably ensure for you that you have an ally to help you take advantage of these different teamwork feats. Then for level 15, we're picking up improved critical, and you're going to select this for whatever your main weapon is, and ideally it's a weapon with a good crit range or a large multiplier to it. Falchions and scimitars are ideal choices, but a great axe works pretty good too with that ×3 multiplier, and critting on a 19 to 20 with that isn't bad at all. But then, of course, we go on from there to your level 15 teamwork feat, and we're taking Escape Route. An ally with this feat will provoke no attacks of opportunity when moving through your space or threatened area. So for you, this means when you are moving through your animal companion space, you can do so safely without taking an attack of opportunity. Massively useful for you when you only have a D8 for hit points. Your heavy armor will help, but this also just helps minimize the number of attacks going your way. Then, for level 17, we're going to pick up Instant Judgment. You can use a judgment as an immediate action. Your only real limiter to keep this from coming in earlier is the ability to use 2 judgments at a time. So this could have come in sooner, but with the other feats that we have selected so far, I feel like that this is an ideal spot for it, although earlier would be better, but the other ones work out pretty good too. Then for level 18, your last teamwork feat, you're going to take a coordinated charge. When an ally with this feat charges a creature no further from you than your speed, you may make a charge against the same creature as an immediate action. So this was great for you to get in close and hit an opponent. Get in close and hit an opponent very quickly and as an immediate action, and this can be done on your ally's turn, which will be great. This lets you get in close, get those flanking bonuses going. Absolutely fantastic for you to have. And then for your level 19 feat, this is just kind of up to player choice. I can't really decide what goes here very well. Certainly with Dirty Fighting, this opens up feats like Greater Disarm. Then we also have Deadly Aim if you want to lean a little bit more into your archery, because you do have proficiency with the longbow, and composite longbows work great with those big strength bonuses. And of course we have feats like Vicious Stomp, which allows you to take advantage of making attacks of opportunity against opponents who fall prone in your vicinity. This requires normally Stunning Strike and the like, but with how good we are going to be at tripping opponents, especially with those flanking bonuses we're able to drive and stack on, this is actually a great way to throw out a little bit of extra damage and start using more of those attacks of opportunity. But what do you think? Go on down to the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Did you like this feat selection? Did you dislike it? Is there anything you would change? Hit those like or dislike buttons and let me know in the comments down below so we can engage in discussion. And remember that if you're new here to the channel, go on down there, hit the subscribe button, and become a regular member here at the Gamers Den. But with all that said, I've been your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire. Thank you all so very much for your time, and you all have yourselves a good night.